Cook with Politics and How It Affects You, and we're going to be talking to Penny Story again today. Hello, Penny.
Hi.
She is a political activist here in Ellis County, and we're going to talk about the COVID-19. We're going to talk about fear, and we're going to talk about the economic implications of what's happening with COVID-19. Penny, let's get started. We have 10 minutes. Tell me a little bit about what you have been uncovering in the last week.
Okay, first I want to make a statement. Fear is what we're seeing a lot of and being encouraged to be fearful, but fear has two meanings. The first one being that we can forget everything and we can run. The second one is that we can face everything and rise. I'm suggesting we go with number two.
And I think also that sometimes fear is the way that and I'm not saying that this is happening right now because I don't have an opinion, as we know, but I do have an opinion. I'm just not going to say it on the air. But I think fear is a good way to get a lot of the people around the world to do what maybe world government, stronger governments might want to do.
Absolutely.
And I would, if I want to scare somebody and get what I want, that's what I would do. I would scare them.
We don't act out of rational thought when we're afraid.
And it's because humans are emotional and we love, and I think that's part of it.
Right.
So using your intellect is a good idea right now for every reason, even your own safety.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I want to share with you some reassuring information. First of all, I'd like for us to remember that America was and is founded upon life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and we're a country of rugged individualism. We are not a collective group. So what is liberty? We talk about liberty. So I'm going to read this to you. Liberty is a state of being free within a society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life, our behavior, our political views, and the power to act as one pleases. So, I want to share with you something from Rhonda Seth, who is an emergency room RN.
Okay.
She's also has been involved in the political world.
Okay.
And so here is her overall take
And
on
she
it.
is where? She's located
Rhonda
where?
Seth is down in South Texas, not
Okay.
the far South Texas. She actually was a candidate for Bonin's position as a state representative.
Okay, all right.
So she's been an RN in emergency room for about 10 years.
Okay,
So this
all right.
is
So
not,
she's seen a lot.
She's seen
over
a lot.
the last 10
right.
years. Okay.
And her comment is there is a tremendous economic danger to our country. And an economic tsunami has been unleashed on our country. Remember when people who had lived through the Depression paid for everything with cash? They shunned credit. They shunned living beyond their means. They believed in having a cash reserve. Mm-hmm. They believed in growing their food, learning skills like hunting and canning so they could be individuals. We've lost that. We've moved into a life for ease and convenience. We have become grasshoppers, not ants.
What does that mean?
Well, ants prepare. You know, they're little bitty, and grasshoppers eat everything.
Okay,
you see,
all
but
right.
ants prepare.
Okay.
Now we really see the consequences of our lack of preparation. People are living paycheck to paycheck, and they're losing their jobs, and they have no reserves, no savings.
That's not always their fault, so let's just point
I'm
that out.
hoping the silver lining will be that we will awaken and we will determine the need for self-reliance and preparation. We'll get back to that. And, I
think, actually, I want to make a point on that. I don't think that in this century that we're living in, unless something drastic happens, which we're watching it happen, people are ever going to go back to the way things were 100 years ago, even 50 years ago, that there is a way to be positive and to make positive change with the technology. Right now we see kids staying at home. They're probably happy right now because they're staying at home. I know my roommate's children, when I was living with him, they were never outside. They were in their teens, and they were never outside. They were in front of the TV playing virtual games. And that's what I guess they can do now, because they don't have to go outside, because the law is you don't have to go outside and you don't have to go to school. So we have to come up with a positive way to say technology is positive, but let's make it positive and, where we still have some values. That's what America's founded on. So,
Okay, good.
all right, keep going.
So, each time we are willing to embrace an infringement on our independence and our freedom and our liberty, we lose.
Mm-hmm.
They will never give it back, they being the authorities who are taking it from us.
Mm-hmm.
We move closer and closer to a country of socialism. Leftists know they can cause a collapse in our society, and when they do it,
Mm-hmm.
the masses will cry out for socialism. It's all about power. Now, we're seeing some of that play. We have candidates who say they're socialists, and, this is not a sneaky thing. They're proclaiming it.
Right.
Many of us want liberty, independence, but there is a price to pay.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot always be protected. We may not always have the easiest road. We may not always live freely. I will not give up liberty for safety. Our founding fathers addressed that we should not give up liberty for safety.
Right.
It's appalling to me how many people are looking to the government to save us right now, financially, medically, and politically.
Well, we did put our government officials in to do their job, which is to look at the situation. That the government officials need to remember what their constituents want. And I don't think that constituents, at least here in Ellis County, are wanting to go to socialism or anything, even in Texas. I don't think. I actually think most Americans don't want to be socialist. I'm glad we have the balance, but the balance needs to balance itself out to where we still have the right to make
government
decisions.
is here to protect us from our enemies mainly.
Not from ourselves.
Not from ourselves,
Right.
and also they're not here to control our lives.
Exactly.
That is not their purpose.
But that's not what every political party believes, and so let's keep that in mind too.
Well, we do have a Constitution of the
Right,
United States,
exactly.
which is the law of the land to
Yes.
which no one refers.
Right.
Or
Okay.
very few. No one's a big word.
Okay.
Okay, as far as the virus goes, most
Okay.
of us catching this is not going to be a big deal, because it is a very easily contained virus, even though we're told not so. So it says, do not go to the emergency room in case if you think you have this. Do wash your hands. This thing is controllable by heat, hot water, soap. It is that easy to control.
Mm-hmm.
Also, let me give you the good news that a New York doctor has stated that a simple, inexpensive prescription is called hydroxychloroquine, and then some big other words. And he has had 300 patients, 350 that he has used this on, who've come expressing maybe they have the symptoms. He has restored their breathing in 3 to 4 hours. He's had 0 deaths, 0 hospitalizations, and 0 incubations. In Dallas, we have Dr. Robert J. Phelan, who
We have 1
has
minute left.
3 emergency medical clinics.
Okay.
And we also have Dr. Yvette Lozano. These doctors believe in using this $12 prescription
Okay.
in order to cure this
The COVID-19.
virus.
Okay. Great. We have no time left. Penny, thank you so much for coming on. You always have so much to say. I'm Rita Cook with Politics and How It Affects You, and Penny Story, political activist. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.